Welcome back, everybody. I'm joined here with Sam O'Byrne. I am Michael Murray, and we've got some more flesh and blood for you here. Round 3, we've got paired Ryan Brown versus Christopher Porter. Tell me about this matchup, Sam.
It's a tried and true matchup for the ages. Everybody expects it at table 1. You're going to have, of course, your Kano. You're going to have, of course, your Phi. It's pretty standard. We talk about it all the time. I don't really think there's much to talk about.
Yeah, everybody knows that those are the top two.
Everybody knows, you know, world champion of
world champion
Phi deck. So
what other ninja could it be?
What other ninja could it be? It's
definitely
always going to be Phi. It's, you know, there's a lot of wizard support coming out in the near future, so you have to imagine Kano's be good. So, I mean, we don't even really have to watch the match. Probably just imagine.
We know how this is going to go. One of them's going to win.
One of them's going to win. It doesn't really, not that exciting. But no, in all seriousness, we do have a Phi at the top table coupled with our Kanos that are just, you know, third most represented deck here at the San Diego Battle, Hardened. So let's go ahead and check out our Kano player here. This is going to be Ryan Brown. Let's go ahead and jump into his player profile here. This is a guy who has been on our AGE circuit for many a moon. The dude is always here slinging spells, getting ready to come through and cast that blazing Aether to finish the game. Let's look at the one thing he thinks that everyone should try at least once. He thinks everyone should fall in love and have a solid sandwich, and I'm realizing in those two answers that we need to be friends, me and this guy.
Yeah.
I like both of those answers.
We do have sandwiches right in the back.
Yeah, he's ultimate guilty pleasure is a solid sandwich. Like, dude, that's what when people are like, what's your favorite food? I say a well-made sandwich. That is my answer to this question. So it sounds like Ryan and I got a lot to talk about.
Good guy.
You know? You friends with Ryan? You like
play? We were just, I mean, come on. I like Kano, so anyone playing Kano, we're always chatting between matches.
100%. Well, lucky for you and lucky for everyone at home, we're going to get to see Ryan going to go ahead and pilot that Kano deck to the best of his ability versus Chris on Phi. This matchup in particular, Phi, not necessarily running a lot of blues, right? You see sometimes an aggressive deck like Dash, it can kind of go either way. The Dash deck able to run ABs pretty easily, also able to have a bunch of blues in those throttles and in those, you know, 0 to 60s, all that blue base that they utilize so well. Phi, it's a little more red line, but can go absolutely crazy and maybe just blow that Kano up.
You know what this matchup reminds me of? A Western pistol duel.
Ooh.
And it's just the first one to draw and fire is going to take it.
Incredible. Well, I think it is time to go ahead and look down into our match here. It's going to be Ryan Brown on Kano, the Dracai of Aether, versus Christopher Porter on Phi, Rising Rebellion. You can see a little hint of that Edge of Autumn, I believe, play mat sticking out for Chris Porter here. Knowing, you got to imagine this guy's been playing for a while, been playing the Ninja class for some time with that type of play mat. This is a hero we have not seen in true prominence since really the Uprising OG Worlds meta, even though it did win the World Championship this year. It has never been considered the best deck, not even in that format, not in the formats.
That was a sleeper, and he managed to swing through and just take it right from out from under our noses. One thing I also just love looking at this screen here, the fiery, flaming background. Both of these two heroes, no slouch when it comes to that heat. Bringing the heat, getting ready for a very aggressive matchup.
Ooh, look at that. We can see the equipment presented. Vest of the First Fist, as well as the Mask of the Pounding Links. A couple on-hit triggers down there, and only AB1 for the Kano. Sometimes you see them with the Harmonized Kadachi and the Arcane Lantern here. We're just going to be with the Searing Emberblade, looking for that 3 power and the go again. So strong. Standard equipment from Ryan. The Spellfire Cloak seeming to point to the aggressive matchup that these two players find themselves in. And, of course, the Phoenix Flame in the graveyard as well. Basically just the you know, final piece of equipment. Looks like we are going to go ahead and we got to see the beautiful mat.
It blended in so well, I almost didn't notice it.
Yes.
But a little bit of a cleaner layout for us here with the Arcane Games and Events mat, giving us a very nice visual background. Not too busy.
So looking ahead into the matchup as we're about to get into it, the Phi going to need to go fast and furious, put on a lot of pressure because without the blue base and only AB1, if Ryan is able to go ahead and find some major damage, that could spell some fiery doom for Kano. And here, a red Aether Spindle off the top on the quote-unquote turn 0. That is exactly where you want to be. You're the Kano man. Talking about what we're seeing.
Well, I mean, Aether Spindle turn 0 means that he's going to get to look at least some of the top cards of his deck and choose what order to put them in. which is exactly what you want to be doing as Kano. So important to put together. Oh, and did you see that one? That's a wildfire he's looking at.
Right off the top. Yeah, it looks like AB2 actually for Chris.
Is that 2 wildfires that he's looking at?
Oh, my goodness. Might be
so
1 EA, 1 regular.
Might be going to the bottom. He would like to put that in Arsenal, unless he's thinking of just sending it here. And exactly, 1 goes to the bottom, and he's going to draw that second one up and get ready to prepare the combo. Wow. And he plays a potion.
Pretty strong start here for Kano. You want to be able to establish some damage, and you want to be able to establish some of those potions that help you if your hand and life total is under pressure. And the Potion of Deja Vu, my favorite card in the Kano deck, just allowing for such interesting plays, utilizing the pitch stack and the pitch zone specifically in a way that is completely unique to the heroes that play that item. But now all eyes are on Fi here. Let's see how much pressure he's able to put on, how much damage he's able to threaten. Only have 4 cards. Often Fi is at its most dangerous with 5-card hand with something like an Art of War. It's going to be a Brand with Cinderclaw to start. 0 cost, 3 power, go again.
Ryan has 3 blues in his hand. He may be thinking about being extra aggressive here. Just taking the damage and seeing what else comes.
Brand with Cinderclaw, not only 3 power with go again, but is a draconic card. So, of course, going to satisfy the cost for the Searing Emberblade here. 5 was the deck I played in my very first calling ever. Worlds San Jose. I played 5.
Yeah, so Ryan Brown sitting with 3 blues in hand and a Blazing Aether. I didn't catch his arsenal, but if it's meaningful, this is an opportunity to go already. I'm not saying he'll take it. I'm saying it's there.
Question for the Kano players, always. When do you press the button?
Yeah.
When do you look to the top of the deck? Going to go ahead and see if we can get a glimpse at the hand here. We see, a little bit of a tricky hand here for Chris. You can see a Take the Tempo and a Lava Burst. In order to get the Lava Burst online, going to need to pitch to Fi at this point because the cost is only reduced by 2. Need 1 final Draconic card to go ahead and head that Chain Link. And the Take the Tempo, of course, costs 1. Looks like we are going to have to pitch the Lava Burst away into the Take the Tempo here.
Yeah, no arsenal, not what he wants to see. Just trying to maximize the hand that he has. Is Ryan Brown thinking about no blocks once again? And he goes, pulls the trigger. Aether Flare Blue is a very big hit here. This is one of the combo pieces. If it goes in between a Wildfire, will multiply that damage onto the final card that he casts. His arsenal, whatever it is critically important to the decision to whether or not he wants to continue this or simply send the Aether Flare.
Going to go ahead and read the Take the Tempo. When it hits, if you've hit 3 or more times on the combat chain, you get to banish the top card of the deck, and if it's an attack action card, get to play it until the end of the next turn. So basically a 1-turn kind of draw a card would, make it a little feels less bad to not have an arsenal after that first turn. The question is, with AB2 but 0 floating, 0 in the hand, how much damage does Ryan want to do here?
Having a think. This is a very important turn for Ryan. If he decides to go and he misses, if he uses his equipment, that could spell the end for him. So it's a very critical decision he's making right now.
Just going to go ahead and block that 4/6. Keep a card in the hand here.
Wasn't happy with what he saw on top, so playing a more conservative line.
Just passing the turn back, so Chris going to start things back off on our next turn here with just another 4-card hand. Wasn't able to establish an arsenal, and of course the Take the Tempo did not hit. So going to have to see 4-5 here. Can you land a card in the arsenal to do a really powerful 4-card hand without opening yourself up to enough arcane damage to just potentially be blown all the way out of the game?
Starting off with another Brand with Cinderclaw. 0 for 3, classic, head jab, draconic.
This is looking similar to the turn we saw before, but critically we do have the blue in the hand to pitch the Emberblade, so now Fi's ability able to be turned on with just that one resource. Ryan down to 18, has taken 12 so far. It's just been Brand with the Cinderclaw in the Emberblade 2 turns in a row. And now time to activate Fi, bring it back to the hand, and immediately onto the combat chain, coming in for another point of damage. Ryan down to 17 here. And there's the Lava Burst. So pretty much the exact same turn so far from Chris, but the difference is going to get to keep a card in the arsenal, which can make all the difference. But once again, Ryan has to be thinking, when do I want to start trying to threaten some arcane damage?
Goes ahead and takes it, so he likes his hand.
And we're going to follow things up here with a snatch from Christopher. So now, not only did we get go again with the Lava Burst utilizing those Tide Flippers, but I was going to say critically. We've heard that word a lot in the Pro Tour streams recently. But critically, those Tide Flippers in the utilization of the go again now turn Chris's Arcane Barrier loadout from 2 to 1.
Yeah, very, very important to note there. That's going to change the way that Ryan Brown thinks about the math when it comes to his combo turn.
So let's see here. This is going to be a Kano activation, pitching away a couple cards.
Toma Fiendal and the Gaze the Ages there, pitched away 2 floating resources after the Kano resolves.
Looks like we're holding priority as well because Ryan might be trying to go off a little bit just now without any cards in the hand for Chris. Let's see. Second Kano activation on the stack.
Yeah, holding priority. Thinking about using the mask, and there it is. The Ragamuffin's hat.
Let's see if we can take
Didn't catch that.
Look, and no, he's just going to put it on top. Well, I'm sure we'll see it in a second.
It was a blue.
Go down to 1 floating, and it's going to be a Wildfire off the top, banished. That is now able to be played. Still have the 1 Kano activation floating. And it is now time for the Potion of Deja Vu to go ahead and be cracked. Put those 3 cards back on top in exactly that order. Still have the 1 Kano activation floating. Now we can pitch away another blue to play the Toma Fiendal off the top and go ahead and utilize that final Kano, but draw 2 cards here if we want to let that Toma Fiendal resolve.
Kindle is a huge play here. Getting to draw a blue and amp is massive. That card has improved the Kano deck so much and also made it so much more difficult to pilot.
Yeah, every point of damage that Aether Wildfire does an additional almost multiplicative amount, right? You go from almost 35 to 40 is that just initial kind of the Wildfire into Lesson into Blazing, right? That's the thing you have to think about.
Ryan Brown currently digging for his finisher. He has his combo starter in the Aether Wildfire. Needs to find a Blazing Aether to close it out.
Let that other Kano resolve here. It's going to be the Lesson in Lava.
I don't know if he set that up.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it is going to go ahead and be ripped right off the top here.
Huh.
Three cards left in the hand. Looks like we still have a number of blues to work with. So if you're Ryan here, Michael, what are you thinking?
Does he have any floating resources?
Looks like he's representing the 1.
Okay, 1 resource blocks 5 of the 38 that I think is coming.
Oh, you're talking about Chris?
Yes.
I don't think Chris got any.
Yeah, if he has no resources, then he's dead.
Yeah, I don't
Ryan's just now dramatic affecting us. He's thinking, stroking the mustache. The critical number for Kano used to be 38, but when there's a Kindle on the stack, it actually goes up from there. The question is whether or not he can pay for the Metacarpus nodes and the staff. So we'll need to see how many resources he has in hand, and the fact that he's kind of slouching with his chin in his hand makes me think that he's having to do some math. Maybe drew reds when he needed blues.
See if we can take a look. He's looking to the sky for aid. Gondor calls for aid. Volkor calls for aid. Ryan might call for aid himself.
2 blues. Oh, he's got a hand of blues.
Yeah, he should be
in a really good spot. He could be thinking about whether or not he wants to go 4 wide or just go tall with 3.
Storm Striders.
Yep.
Utilizing that final resource into the
okay,
Tome
I
of Aether
completely saw his hand, and he goes digging.
So the Storm Striders here not needing to go ahead and utilize for the Aether Wildfire because, of course, there is one already banished to Kano, and the Lesson in Lava threatens to go ahead and find the Blazing Aether
Kindle
as well.
is on top. This is very, very bad.
Kindle on top. So what does that mean?
It means he doesn't, he just had to throw away a blue to figure that out. And now he's going to have to go, and fortunately he has the lessons to sort of swap that out, but he really wanted to go 4 wide here. The Kindle on top is very unfortunate. He may still have it.
Kindle on top, of course, because it's not a non-attack action. It is an instant. Kano doesn't let you play instants as instants. It lets you play non-attack actions as instants. But the Aether Wildfire here going to come in with the Crucible of Aether Weave and the Kindle bonus. So coming in for 7.
This is lethal if he can resolve the lesson and the blazing after this, which I believe he can.
As long as he's got the blue in the hand, which I think he does. So let's see. This is going to be 7 damage.
I think the use of the Kano, the one where he found the Kindle, I think he was going for style points. Assuming he had already calculated the lethal from the lessons into the blazing.
That's going to go ahead and deal so much damage. I think maybe 10, right? Or 4, 11. So 4 from the lesson and then 7 from the Aether Wildfire. That's going to grab the blazing.
And then 11 plus 7 is 18 plus 7, 24.
And that's going to do it. The fist bump is extended. And Kano here moving on to 3 and 0. There are 5 Kanos at all 5 of the top tables here. Battle Hardened San Diego is starting to absolutely heat up here.
Yeah. San Diego loves Kano. And now that we're in their home turf, they're showing us why.
Yeah, I mean, it's a powerful deck. We saw it do some major work just recently in the Living Legend Battle Hardened in that format, but in Classic Constructed, the Wizards are here to play, and if Rosetta has anything to say about it, you have to imagine the Wizards are going to be here to stay. That was a pretty classic little maneuver there from Ryan on Kano, and you have to imagine all the other Kanos in the room. We'll have to check in and see how they're doing in the rest of these matches, but it's looking pretty good for the Dracai of Aether here so far to start off our day.
Absolutely.
And you have to imagine it's going to continue that way unless something can kind of, impede the progress. Michael, now you as a Kano player.
Yeah.
What are the matchups? Let's say you're sitting out there, you're playing Kano, you're 3-0, or you're like Ryan is, right? You're getting ready. What are the matchups you don't want to see? What are the things that you're like, please don't sit me down against X or Y?
Well, I haven't been playing a lot of Kano recently, but I think the Enigma matchup can be scary. It is technically Kano favored, but you better have done your homework. I mean, you need to know that matchup well. If you haven't studied every possible line, if you haven't studied the game plan and know what they're bringing and know how to counter it, you're not going to have a good time. So that is one of the matchups. I believe you have to do a combination of tempo and pitch stack in order to sort of secure that one. So you're playing on both axes. It's very difficult. Other than that, the disruptive high blue counts, I think that the new and the Zen can both be a little bit scary, the blues with the AB. But really at the end of the day, I think most of Kano matchups at the moment are his to lose. I'm trying to think and sort of scroll through the different options, and I mean, I think there's a reason we see 5 Kanos at the top 5 tables right now. He's a very good deck when you have a good player on him.
Well, let's go ahead and we'll ask the same question to Mr. Ryan Brown. We'll hear about what he's thought so far of these last 3 rounds. We'll also hear about what maybe matchups he's not looking forward to, or what he's trying to dodge, trying to avoid, or if he thinks, like some of these other Kano players out there might think, it's just going to be a cakewalk all the way up to the top 8.
Maybe it's the Kano mirror.
Maybe it's the Kano mirror. Well, here's the thing, dude. With 5 of them at the top tables, we're about to get at least 1 or 2 Kano mirrors in the next round.
The Kanos I spoke to love the mirror.
Oh, sure.
It's just the most big brain game of flesh and blood you can play, right? 2 Kanos sitting down in front of each other.
Yeah, couldn't be me, but I'm excited that all of these players love it so much. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll hear from Ryan Brown in just a moment from the Battle Hardened here in San Diego. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody. We're joined here with Ryan Brown, winner of round 3 at the streamed table. 5 versus Kano. How are you feeling after the match?
That was a quick one. I'm feeling like, I'm ready to take a nap and get ready for the next round.
Awesome. Yeah, you can take a lunch break. You got all the time in the world. Were you expecting this to be an easy match for you?
I like the 5 matchup. I feel like with Kindle, you got to gamble a little bit, but it's you have the speed now. I mean, you can definitely brick. I had a turn where I was going off and I knew I was gonna get the win, but I was like, okay, I'll see if I get another spell. I did hit a Kindle, but
yep. We caught that on camera. We saw you kind of flip the Kindle up, and I sat there wondering if it mattered. And I think what you were doing there, were you styling on that Fi? Were you going for the 4 wide
trying
play?
to use all my resources out of respect.
Out of respect,
yeah,
of course.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. I am curious about the matchups that you see here today. Is there anyone in particular that you would not like to face? Anyone that you think has Kano's number or might be a challenge for you?
I mean, I definitely don't want to hit any prisms, but that's a known stinker matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But the Enigmas have been giving me trouble recently. I'm running some tech for them, but it's just a slog of a game. It's really tough. You feel like you're falling behind and just can't get that Waxing Spectre off the board. And so I don't know. After the Fi matchup, I got time to debrief and kind of reset, but the Enigma one, I feel pretty tired.
So
after.
it sounds like we've got Prism, Enigma, and the field.
I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of like the Zen matchup. It feels like I am winning more than I'm losing, but they can definitely get you. And we have a lot of great players here, so it's not going to be that easy.
And their blue count. That's sort of the difference between Fi and Zen. When the Fi sort of goes all out, he's out of resources, shields down. But when the Zen goes all out, sometimes they have a couple floating resources to protect themselves.
Yeah, it kind of puts you in a spot where you want to do something early before they're really pressuring you dying, because if you get to that point where you're under 10, they can hold back those blues. But, earlier in the game, if you can hit that Kindle and Wildfire and find the Blazing, then you can definitely, they're less likely to be holding the blue. So.
By the way, I don't know if you knew this, but currently Kano holds the top 5 spots in the top 5 tables.
I've been, I know a couple Kanos here, but I've been hearing some horror stories of people that you don't even know. So,
oh, no.
Evan's like, I got hit round 1. It's
Kanos are picking people off today.
Yep.
What do you think about that? 5 Kanos, top 5 tables?
I love it.
Fantastic.
It's great to see.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about the mirror, so it's
nervous about the mirror.
Well, it's
I heard some other Kanos saying bring it on earlier, so maybe you're a little more respectful.
I haven't been having too much luck in these tournaments in the mirror, so realistically it's it can go either way, but it's a tricky one.
Yeah. Well, speaking of wizards, we do have a wizard set coming up.
We do.
And we have so much time thanks to this lightning speed game you just took. What are you thinking about Rosetta?
I'm thinking that people are going to need to keep packing that AB and Spell Void. It's here today, but we've got top 5 spots. I think there's so much we don't know yet. And
it's true.
I'm really hoping that with what we're seeing from Acilio, it just looks like this guy, he can't block. He's got all the instants. There's really only one way to go, and I'm kind of excited about that.
So it sounds like you might be prioritizing Acilio. Of course, we have so many cards to see. We don't really know yet, but moving forward, we're going to have 3 wizards that you can choose from. We're going to have Acilio, we're going to have Verdance, and we're going to have Kano. Where do you see yourself
I'm definitely going to be sampling all 3.
Okay.
But I'm excited about the new Acilio specialization.
Cool
I like
card.
drawing cards.
Yeah.
And just sounds like stuff I'm going to want to do is,
awesome.
With the lightning spells, we've been wanting a lightning wizard for so long. But, Verdance, on the other hand, right now you look at just what she has, and it's like the bones are there for a solid value deck, and if she can get those cards in her banish zone, I think it's going to be really scary late game. So.
The Channel Millennium Tree. I've seen some people talking about using the Staff of Aether something. Oh, I forgot the name.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't know yet exactly how this deck is going to shake down. Again, we have so many spoilers left unspoiled so far, but the prospect of AMP 3, AMP 6 onto a staff coming in for 7, and then your next spell gets +7. Maybe it's a Fork to Lightning +14. Really cool interactions there, so really looking forward to seeing how these wizards shake out. I, too, am really eyeing Acilio, though.
You're a wizard man yourself, so...
Yeah, you know what, though? I had to stop playing Kano when Kindle came out. I'm not smart enough.
It's
Yeah, I tried, and I nope.
Yeah, you had to kind of relearn.
My ceiling was pre-Kindle Kano, and once it came out, it was like I would drop my cards on the table, and it was like the math stopped mathing in my head.
Yep.
It's tough.
Well, you don't know. That's like
exactly. You're playing blind now in a way that you weren't before. You could really sort of like set yourself up to know, okay, I have lethal. Maybe they can block it, but I know what I'm doing. And with Kindle, you just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
And you're kind of playing this high variance game of, what am I going to draw? I don't know. I hope it's a blue.
Yeah, and I had a game today versus Zalia, and it was like I just had just a standard wildfire combo, no Kindles involved, and it felt like I was just like, playing something that was just underpowered.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. You just it's just wildfire lesson. 3 spells. What do you do with 3 spells?
Like, okay,
38 damage.
This used to work.
That's not even all their life. What do I do with this?
It's only coming in for 5.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah, really cool card. How do you like Kindle, by the way?
It's fun for that reason. Like, it makes the games more exciting. I don't like that I'm running these bricks in my deck. So
scary.
It feels bad when you lose, but you just got to take that with the game.
More variance, higher ceiling.
For sure. That's what it's been.
Absolutely.
I mean, it sounds like the Kanos are running hot today, so maybe everyone's figured it out.
Awesome. I mean, I feel like it's got to be the San Diego energy. The San Diego heat, the Kanos, the fire, the flames. Yeah, absolutely.
Eugene is a man of the...
Oh, yeah, Eugene is such a fantastic Kano player. Yep. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to shout out? Any other thoughts you have? Rosetta coming up? We didn't even mention the rune blades. Have you thought about them at all?
God, I mean...
You're like, no. We go all the way into the magic. None of this half magic, half physical stuff.
Yeah, what's that Spellfire Tiara with the... I'm a little nervous about Florian with a
bunch of rune chants that are all spell void. I didn't even think of that. That's terrifying for the Kano.
When you hit the Viscerai with that, it's not good. So.
New Kano sort of counter coming up. Are you thinking about Kano still? Are you thinking about maybe like what kind of cards he's going to get and whether maybe you just are the Kano stan?
I'm kind of looking for some spice. So
Awesome.
I might come back to it because I love the deck, but it would have to take something that Kindle was a nice little refresh, but yeah, something that's going to switch it up. Another 0-for-1 is great, but
maybe all the Kanos are going to start to only the truest, purest Kano mains are going to stick around because it is really exciting what we're about to see. A whole arcane set.
Yeah, LL though, I got to bring out the Kano, I believe. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
thanks
for joining me.
Yeah.
For everyone at home, we will see you in. Looks like about the round will end in about 25 minutes, and we'll get back to you with our next match. So don't go anywhere.
Yep. Sorry for the downtime,
See you shortly.
guys.